We're all trying to find that next big running back in our fantasy football drafts. We're watching all the preseason games. We're watching the training camp clips, mainly with me, but we're watching what these running backs are doing behind the scenes. We're playing Debbie fantasy football. We're playing campus to Canton. We've been watching these guys for years. We've been paying attention to high school recruiting, and we're looking at these young running backs, wondering which one is going to pop off. Today, we're going to talk about Trevian Henderson. We're going to talk about how he's going to blow up, how he could not blow up, the good, the bad, the ugly, see whether or not you need him for your fantasy football team, whether or not you need to pay up for him in your drafts. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing these player deep dives. We're doing the draft strategies, all of them, player rankings. We're helping you set your lineups, and we're going to find a lot of gems off the waiver wire this year. We're always a couple weeks early, and you're going to get those players for a lot cheaper than if you're following anybody else. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. Do not disappoint Ric Flair again. Trevian Henderson is a big-time prospect, and he's been lighting it up in preseason. The cost is rising, and he's not being ignored. He never was. He never was. But this is a big-time prospect that is also built for fantasy football with how he plays the game. We're going to dig into that. But first off, coming out of high school, big-time, 5-star recruit. We covered his high school highlights back then, covering his profile, letting you know this was a big-time prospect. 39 offers. Everybody in college football wanted him. All the big programs, the small programs, all over the nation, from the east to the west, from the middle to the south, everywhere. Everybody wanted him. The small schools who had no shot wanted him. They shot their shot just in case they got a yes. Everybody wanted Trevian Henderson. On their 24/7 Sports Player profile page, they got him compared to Christian McCaffrey. And Sony Michel was on there once, but twice by McCaffrey. That being said, you'll see some of that in his game when you start watching the clips, but you'll also see some other players, because I don't believe in comparisons. I don't believe for ones. I believe in studying the traits and how these guys can win on the field. We'll dig into that some more if we remember, but this guy was productive off the rip out of Ohio State. This program, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that, especially at the running back position. They're bringing in dog after dog after dog after dog. He was killing it in the passing game. 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. We've had some injuries baked in off and on throughout our career at Ohio State. We finished off 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Sharing the backfield with Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins was supposed to be this monster. He is this monster. Killed it during his freshman year. Second year, transferred to Ohio State, was considered one of the top running backs in all of college football. When College Football 25 came back, he was one of those players used to advertise the game. But by the end of the season, it was Rocky IV. As Quinshon Judkins, the Russian, ironically with the current events, and with Trevian Henderson as Rocky Balboa. Because at the end of that movie and at the end of the season in 2024, those naysayers, those guys that were on the Quinshon Judkins wagon, there's starting to be arguments. There's people chanting Trevian Henderson. And it takes a talented running back to do so. Now, you look at what he's doing in the receiving game. Yards after the catch per reception, 10.2, 11.1, 10, 11.7, 10.9 average on his career. We saw it in preseason. We're seeing it in training camp clips. If not, go watch those videos. But that indicates a running back that can eat up yards in space when he gets the ball in the flat. So there's a good chance that he's going to eat up balls in space or yards in space when he gets the ball in the flat in the NFL. Yards after contact per attempt, 4.43 last year. 4.31 as a freshman. Those 2 years where things really ramped up, he was looking good. We saw that a little bit yesterday. We can also be dominant on a team where you got playmakers everywhere. Against good competition. 100 yards on Notre Dame. 118 on Michigan State. 120 some on Wisconsin. Minnesota 146. 152 on Penn State. 162 on Wisconsin. some on Nebraska, more on Notre Dame, some on Oregon. Just racking it up on good teams while sharing the backfield. 80 on Tennessee. This is a running back that's very explosive, that can be very dominant. He's shown this throughout his career, and we killed it at the combine. We blazed the track. We got speed. And metrically compares to Reggie Bush. That is a comparison by the numbers from playerprofiler.com. Go check that website out. Free plug. Information's free. Type in a player's name. You're going to get all kinds of good data here. I love to use them. 202 pounds. Drafted early in the second round because they had to pull the trigger on him. 4.43 40-yard dash. Elite burst score. Elite speed score. And you see that all in the tape. It all adds up. Sometimes those numbers are there, and it does not add up with the tape. So everything has to add up together. And we saw that at Ohio State. We're seeing that in preseason. And wire to wire. 5-star recruits, productive in college, gets drafted early, especially for a running back here. So wire to wire, we've been crushing it. We've been killing it. And we've been killing it in preseason. And you're looking at this depth chart. Ramondre Stevenson's going to be doing Ramondre Stevenson things. He's going to be getting the gritty work, the unsexy work. He might get some games where he's okay in fantasy football. He might have a little run. And Tony Gibson, how he's used in this backfield, Hendo's going to take that. Lan Larison is a small school prospect. That's fun to watch, but if you're not in those deeper circles, you don't have to worry about that. And right now, you're looking at TreVeyon Henderson. He's going to take some work, and it's going to ramp up. It's going to ramp up. And you're looking at Ramondre Stevenson. Like, you look at last year, and it felt like it was a slouch year. But it was okay. It was okay. He was in and out of some of those games. He got you some okay production. You're catching him in the double-digit rounds. Like I said earlier, like, he may have a run of a few games here this year. Even with Hendo out there. And Hendo could be killing it. And Stevenson might still have a run of some good games. Averaging 12 points per game in fantasy throughout his career. He's had his moments. And he's a big running back. And he take off some of the load from TreVeyon Henderson. And really allow Hendo to do what he's good at. And allow him to ramp up and develop to the NFL game. When you're looking at TreVeyon Henderson in preseason, he's been killing it. 38 rushing yards, 5 carries, 7.6 yards per carry. Small sample, but we got joint practices. He's been killing the Minnesota Vikings. Catching balls downfield. Looking explosive. Breaking off routes. We got the highlights. We got the clips. I got the footage. This is why you come here. I got the footage to prove it to you. And this is a site, a channel where I learn, I come back and share. Not a channel of narcissism, like I'm on a pedestal trying to give you takes and try to give you the future like everybody else. Go check that out. Look for yourself. But you're looking at this backfield from last year, very anticlimactic, not a 1,000-yard rusher, not really getting a lot in the passing game. TreVeyon Henderson, when you infuse that with the wide receivers there, as this team's begging for more from the skilled players, it looks like the light at the end of the tunnel. You got Stephon Diggs there now. Drake May's going into his second season. Just having that weapon right out there in space in the flats. That's going to be huge for this team. He can also pass block. Like, if you go watch those pass blocking clips, he knocks helmets off dudes. He pops chins back. You're getting a gritty guy. Not just a satellite back, but a gritty running back. He took carry up the gut yesterday. You saw that. Boom, boom, boom. This is a gritty running back that's disguised as a satellite back. So you're getting more than like a DeAndre Swift that's back here. You're getting a guy that tries to do as much as possible. That's a good thing. But I do want to talk about the rookie ramp-up. It's different with every running back, and it's very subjective. So you really got to look at like 100 of these charts. So if there's a running back, you're thinking, yeah, but what about this guy? Like Bijan Robinson didn't really get a ramp-up. He was solid, but you got Arthur Smith doing weird things back there. Jahmyr Gibbs did. He did. Profile is a little bit similar to Jahmyr Gibbs, but also doesn't have Monty there. Barkley didn't really have a ramp-up. He's just been Barkley. And Devin Achane did have a little ramp-up. The thing is, and I always go back to the Devin Achane story here, because during those first 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. People drafted him. They spent decent draft capital on him. And during that time, they were asking whether or not they can drop him. They can drop him. Those 2 weeks. And the reason here is saying, hey, he might suck during the first few weeks. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it's anticlimactic the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you don't hold on to him, you might miss that glow up. You might miss that 50-point game. A lot of people did. I talked people out of it, or at least tried to. I don't know what they did. They don't come back. I said, you got to hold on as long as possible. You got to do whatever you can. And that's what we talk about with these lottery tickets. So the spinoff with this is you got to account for the rookie ramp up if there is one. And if you're impatient, then players like this, especially at this draft capital, you need to stay away from and just take the veterans. Because you're going to be too impatient. You're going to FOMO. You're going to get scared. You're not going to hold on. You're not realizing what you're getting. However, if you understand that, there's good potential for that. You got that with Gibbs. Look at what he's doing. He's getting drafted in the first round. Devin Achan's pushing first round right now, depending on your league. Now it could be like Bijan or Saquon. I don't know. But process-wise is, if you're going to catch that FOMO and you're going to drop, just stay away and just get that veteran. But realize you may have to be patient for a few weeks. It could be 6. It could be 2. It could be 10. I don't know, but odds are the blow-up's going to happen. 20-point weeks, 30-point weeks, 50-point weeks. That's going to happen somewhere down the line. And if you disregard the potential of a glow-up for a rookie running back, and it could be Harvey, it could be Caleb Johnson, it could be all those guys. And one of them could hit week 1, other one glows up after week 6, other one after week 10, and you don't know. It's just part of the game. But it's all in their prospect profiles that they glow up and hit big. If you're going to drop them easy like that, like the Devin HN guys, don't get them. But if you understand what you're getting, and you're going to see this through, it could be next year, more than likely not, should be this year, you're good. He's expensive. He's expensive for a rookie running back, but he's also got a lot of upside to his name. Because when you look at big play capability here with the Patriots, who else is going to deliver? Stephon Diggs is on the back nine of his career. He's going to help this wide receiver core out. You got your young quarterback looking to take a step forward. Trevian Henderson has been making play after play after play after play. Preseason, joint practices, training camp. He's been having big moments. He's going to be using the passing game. He's too good running routes. He's been breaking off good routes. Limited drift, like none. Creating separation. He's going to be using the passing game. That's going to be great for PPR. The upside's immense. However, you look around him. If you can handle a rookie ramp up, which could be there, you got all these veterans here to pivot to. That's the opportunity cost. If you can handle that and understand that, if you're loaded or locked with a top running back, top wide receiver, you can take on that risk a little bit easier. So if you're thinking about, I want Hendo, I want Harvey, I want Caleb Johnson, I think your best bet is to go running back round 1, round 2, get one of those top running backs, and maybe even another one in round 3, 4, something like that. Then get your rookie. Make sure you're sprinkled in good at wide receiver. And then once you get that, pound out wide receiver a bit. Maybe get one of those veterans in the double-digit rounds. Not one of those sexy running backs. Then once you get that established, you're rounded out a little bit. You need to get a few lottery ticket running backs. Everybody needs lottery ticket running backs this year. There's too many good running backs this year that could pop off after injuries. But Trevian Henderson, you got to strategize around him. It's not player good, player bad. Everybody else is going to preach that. It's about how you strategize around the player. Like, I may like Courtland Sutton, but guess what? He doesn't come to me. What's the strategy after that? Or I may not like Courtland Sutton, but I catch him 2 rounds cheaper than ADP and he's there. What's strategy around that? You get what I'm saying? It's about strategy of draft, being prepared how players fall, the player pools. That's really going to help make or break your team. Because Kenneth Walker could have a good bounce back, but then gets hurt. Or Chuba Hubbard could be playing well, but then gets hurt. I can't predict that. You can't predict that. But having a good strategy where you can capitalize depth and value throughout your drafts with the player pools is what's going to help you win your league. And knowing the waiver wire, being aggressive with the waiver wire, and being ready for the waiver wire during your drafts with your final picks with those lottery tickets. Because if you draft roster cloggers, you're not going to be ready for that. Because you're going to be holding on to that clogger and you're not going to be aggressive. You're not going to be aggressive when you're watching the snaps and the routes of these running backs who are drafted late or going undrafted in your drafts, and they're sitting there on waiver wire, and they're trending up. But that wide receiver is getting you 10, 11, 12 points per game, but it's really giving you 0 because you're not starting them, and they're only giving you a few points more than the wide receivers off the waiver wire. So they're clocking you up. So honestly, you need to account for the waiver wire with the back end of your draft. And the price is increasing. If you're playing best ball June, July, like, you got to get in on your talent. You got to make those bets early, because once you get into training camp, things could change. Also, redrafters are more into best ball right now as they're mock drafting, playing more. This is increasing. They're saying he's good. They're saying they're putting their dollars on. These aren't free leagues. This ain't free ADP. This ain't mock drafts. You're looking at this. There's money laid down on this. People are putting more money on TreVeyon Henderson by the day, and this is going to increase after yesterday. So the bet is saying, and what the market's saying, hey, we like TreVeyon Henderson. I'm not saying that, but I do like TreVeyon Henderson. But they're saying they like TreVeyon Henderson. So you can add that to your data. You want the elite talent. He is an elite talent. He's good at catching the ball in the backfield. He's good in space. He's explosive. He has the potential to be a league-winning asset. Rookie risk, rookie ramp up. You're going to stay away if you don't like that. If you trade players, drop players early, if they're not hitting week 1, 2, 3, and you're not accounting for a rookie ramp up, which could be there, because I saw that with Devin and Chen with my own eyes. People coming back at me asking what to do. If you naturally catch that FOMO, maybe stay away. If not, listen to my words right now and just hold on as long as possible. Don't be afraid of these rookies. And if you are afraid of these rookies, just get away. If you can't handle that. Because more than likely, he's going to pop off big somewhere down the line. As long as injury bug doesn't bite him, he's going to pop off big somewhere down the line. But if you can't hold 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, you can't manage that. You can't figure that out. You understand that that could potentially happen, especially with these rookies. I showed you some charts. There's a bunch of them. That's just the biggest thing. Especially when you're looking at a second-round pick, there's potential for that to happen. But he could blow up week 1. He's been blowing up right now. He's been trending good. And the reason why that price tag has been increasing, because it looks like the odds are trending that he's going to blow up week 1, week 2, week 3 early. Odds are looking good for that. But you also have to take count. You cannot be a FOMO player. You can't be a nervous player with these rookies with this draft capital, because it's going to bite you. Also, it's not about the player playing well, playing bad. It's also how you play the game with your chips. It's on top of that. I teach strategy here. I teach process. If you're wondering, like, why is he saying he doesn't like this player over that player? Think. All this is strategy. How to build around player X, Y, Z, the data, the information, and then you make the case whether or not you want that player. That's what all these videos are. You make the case whether you want to go double here RB, just use that structure, here RB, 0 RB. It's all on you, and the data's here. It's free. I'm here every day trying to help you out. That's the best way to help you out every single time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.